Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Cherish, Live, and Dream. I am your host, Jay.
And I am your host, YaYa.
And we are your hope dealers. So, everyone, let's go ahead and get started. We have a very special guest this evening with us. And not only is he a guest, but he is also my friend. And his name is Grady Bussey. Hi, Grady.
Good evening. Good afternoon. Hey, everybody.
How are you?
Hey, another day in paradise, right?
That's right. That's right. So we're going to go ahead and get started, Grady. And the first question that I have is, your personal and professional endeavors encompasses a life of community service. Today, as we focus on your professional accomplishments, what would you say is and was the turning point in your career?
Well, I think everybody that is a public servant has had an epiphany moment, and when they realize that this is what their calling is. And I think with me, I've been serving the Raleigh community for over 30 years now, ever since I got here at St. Aug in '91. But I think I had an epiphany moment probably in '07. After I got out of school at St. Aug, I ended up going to grad school at Central. And while I was at Central, I ended up getting into the real estate market. And from there, I began to sell real estate. And so from from 97 to 2007, I was full-time selling real estate. I ran a real estate company as well as a mortgage company. And I was killing it. I was on everybody's TV. I had commercials. I had about 20 loan officers and real estate agents, and we were really doing well. And then the market crashed. Okay. And it crashed dramatically. And when the real estate market crashed, I mean, literally banks were closing while we were at the closing table. And it was a traumatic experience, to say the least. And many people remember that. I mean, a lot of people lost their homes. A lot of people it was just a bad time for a lot of people. And what I ended up doing at that time was trying to figure out what my purpose was then, and how do I rebound? Now, keep in mind, I had two very young children, and it was a lot of pressure. And as a man, my objective and goal is to take care of my priorities. And so I had to figure it out. So what I ended up doing was I ended up volunteering for the Barack Obama campaign.
Okay.
Wow. In '07. And at that time, that literally was what saved my life, honestly, because what ended up happening was, during the day, I would try to look for jobs, and I would get no's all the time. And I was trying to do any and everything from sales to real estate, and it was just getting a lot of no's. But at night, I would register people to vote. I would knock on doors. I was at the Walmart 1 o'clock in the morning registering people and getting people involved. And then from there, I ended up organizing multiple community events. That was early voter drives. I was on all college campuses doing events, getting people registered to vote. I organized multiple early voter marches and broke all early voter march records, and it was a great deal. And then from there, I said, what can I do? After Obama won, I had an opportunity to move to DC and work for the Obama campaign.
Oh, wow.
But my family was young, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stay here, and I'm gonna try to figure it out. And at that time, the Sergeant Courtney Johnson and Top Green Community Center position was open, and that was my turning point for me. And once I became the director of those community centers, I just hit the ground running. And try to figure out how to serve from there.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And YaYa, in case you don't know, this is the way that I met Grady was through him doing the Raleigh Parks and Rec, and Chase went there. And Chase was about how old, Grady, when she came to you? Was she like 6 or?
6. I raised a lot of babies there.
Yeah. Chandler was there.
That's right. I raised a lot of babies.
Yeah. And, so they're turning 16 this year. You know that, right?
I know. I see Chase's pictures. I say, oh my God.
Yeah.
But what the funny thing is that what you, I don't know if you realize this, but when I first got to Sergeant Courtney Johnson, it was the worst community center in the city.
Oh, wow.
It was high crime, high drugs, high dropout community. It was the worst place that you can possibly bring your child in. And it took a lot of community engagement and a lot of people we had to figure out how to serve our community. And we went from, and Jay, I don't know if you remember, but I don't know, by the time you got there, things were getting a little bit better.
So, yeah, it was a little bit better.
Just a little bit. But when I first got there, it was the place that nobody wanted to be at. Like it was really that place where you wouldn't bring your child there. And what was that turning point for me was, once I first got there, one of the things I wanted to do was, just try to figure out how do you create an environment where people care about their own community. Yeah. And so what I first did was I organized a coat drive. And we did this event called Coats Coast We Care. And what ended up happening was it taught, I was able to get people from all over the city to donate children's coats. And then I was able to give it away to these people that were in these impoverished conditions. And what ended up happening was the people that were getting the coats, they began to respect me. They respected the fact that I was a leader for them. And the community center changed dramatically because you met people's felt needs. And that's how we were able to get camps going and all these other programs going, because the people, the hood folks were going to be hood folks, right? They knew, that's right. I couldn't change everybody, but they knew don't come to 1801 Proctor Road with it, because that's Mr. Grady cares about the community. And I left it in a place where it's at a better place today.
Well, that's good, because my next question is what would you say is the core of community engagement?
I think honestly, it is meeting people where they are. I think one of the most hardest things that we do as humans is try to figure people out. And I think we will always miss the mark. And if I meet you where you are, you're gonna be successful, and I'm gonna be successful. That's right. I think one of the best stories I've ever heard about community engagement and getting people involved in a positive manner was there was a Time Life magazine article years ago. I can't remember the article, the year, when it was, but it talked about the civil rights movement. And in the civil rights movement, they were talking about all these people that America would never know. And one of the people was this woman who was a housekeeper or a maid during the day. But at night, she made sandwiches for the people who were freedom riders, who were riding on the buses. And this is Alabama, rural Alabama. So Miss Sally had these sandwiches that everybody loved. This woman was not educated. She wasn't articulate or anything like that. She was a maid during the day. But her value was that she was able to make these sandwiches, and everybody, they just thought these sandwiches were blessed by God, and these people get on these roads, and So the story behind it is that when I think about meeting people where they are, everybody can be a servant, everybody can be involved, everybody can be engaged. You just got to know what their talents are and be comfortable with their talents, because everybody is not that one that's going to stand up and talk to thousands of people.
That's right.
You know, so you need the person that mops floors too.
That's right. That's right. I agree with that. That's very good. And so, y'all, do you have anything?
I just wanted to just add more so than ask a question. It was good to hear when you said that the core of community engagement was meeting people where they are. I was also thinking along those lines to meeting them, what is the need for the community? Right. And then once you're able to meet that need, which is definitely along the lines of meeting people to where they are, people, what's the saying? People will come, they will come.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, but even with that, I think there is value in meeting people's felt needs. Mm-hmm. You know, if I'm hungry, I'm not going to hear you because I'm hungry.
Right.
You know. Mm-hmm. But if you are feeding me, if you are keeping me warm, if you are doing things that are my felt needs, mm-hmm. I'm gonna have a better conversation with you. I'm gonna listen to you differently. And that's just human nature. That's just the nature of man, you know.
Yes.
And I think sometimes we get too smart for ourselves, that we think that we have to, you know, do all of these things to meet these needs of our community and how to serve our community, where, you know, your basics is how you serve.
That's right.
If you treat people the way you want to be treated, I treated gang members the same way I treated my city council members. You know, everybody is the same, you know.
That's right.
And if you do that, that's how you create the respect in your community.
Yeah. And I know for a fact that you have done that, Grady, because I've seen it. I've seen it several times.
You've seen it, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna take care of Roger Wan and his folks the same way I'm gonna take care of Corey Branch and his people.
That's right.
And if you do that, then you can walk any streets, any neighborhoods. I remember one time, I'm gonna talk too much, but I remember one time I was in I don't remember which street it was on, but I was somewhere picking up something. It was late at night. It was one of them hood spots. Yeah. And my car wasn't working. For whatever reason, my car wasn't starting right. And, you know, and by nature, you become tense because you know you're in the hood. Mm-hmm. And so I ended up getting out of the car, trying to figure it out. And I'm seeing these figures in the shadow. Like I'm literally parked in front of somebody's house that you would be like, yo, this ain't going anywhere. And that one of the dudes that was there was like, yo, Mr. Grady. And I looked, I was like, hey, so this dude played in our basketball league years ago, years ago. He was a grown man, you know, he'd been locked up in and out. He was telling me, I'm trying to get my life right, Mr. Grady, I'm trying, you know. But these guys, where they were shadows, concerned figures, they're the ones that were helping me get my car together. Like, they're the ones like, yo, they didn't want me to call the tow people, though. They were like,
right. That would have brought too much attraction.
You not call nobody. Did you already call police? No, man. No. So, you know, you gain that respect. You know.
That's right. That's right. And I think a lot of times, some of us kind of forget where we come from.
That's
regardless if you did come from that area or not. Sometimes you have to realize that it could have been you.
That's right.
And it's never too late to where it still could be you, because life happens all the time.
All the time.
That's why you have to be humble. You have to be humble, and you have to know how to treat people. And like you said earlier, meet people where they are. Yeah. So I think, So that was great on your part, because you definitely set an example, because if you never would have talked to that guy or had any kind of dealings with
if I treated him like poop 4 years ago, they might have robbed me that night. You know?
Yeah, most definitely.
Just let you just be out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly.
So that goes to show you that it's no good end to sending your representative. You should show up as you are.
Mm-hmm.
Because that representative is going to get tired.
That's right.
The true person is going to come out, and then people are going to be like, oh,
yeah.
That's who you
but you know what? Let me say this. And I believe this wholeheartedly. I actually, I was talking to some really some scholars. Let's use the word scholars.
Okay.
And they were talking about community, and they were talking about the plight of our community. And these people, without giving too far a description, these people have never been in lower socioeconomic communities, but they've read about it.
Yeah.
And so they kept talking about how there was such a dramatic disenfranchisement in our lower economic communities and things like that, right? And I said, you know what? Let me tell you something. More people know their neighbors in the lower social and economic communities than they do in our more affluent communities.
That's right.
And we need to stop talking about these communities as if these people are horrible people and they don't know each other and everybody's just trying to kill each other. Let me tell you something. I live in a good neighborhood. Let's use that word good. And I don't know my neighbors. But when I would go to Sergeant Courtney Johnson and go to Top Green, and I'm sitting around these lower socioeconomic communities and I'm in these hoods, everybody knew Grandma Susie up the block.
That's right.
Everybody knew when the Jones family came and went to work. Everybody knew Mr. Rogers works on the cars. You know what I'm saying? So there is still a sense of community. Now, there is a sense of eat or be eaten in these communities. So if you don't learn to adapt in these communities and you don't want to talk to these people and you act like you too good, you won't be one of those people.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of misunderstanding when we talk about serving lower socioeconomic communities as if these people don't know each other, because they do.
Right. That's good. So tell us how your partnership with WRAL news outlet has helped you garner community awareness and support in the Raleigh, North Carolina and surrounding areas.
So I think with WRAL, good news has traveled fast. I think what they have seen is WRAL is a very organic, boots on the ground news station. And when I was approached probably about a year ago about just kind of creating some form of I don't want to use the word series, but just kind of let the public know about various events or happenings that was going on throughout the city of Raleigh. So cool. It's been kind of cool because
you're famous.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the right word.
I would say, yes, I would say you're very well known.
But it's been kind of cool. But I've utilized the platform to tell the good news about what's going on in the city. And so it's work in which we've done everything from letting people know about jobs that were happening. And during COVID, we were telling them about all these different programs that we were doing. Now I am the director of John Cherish Memorial Park, and we keep it moving over there.
Yeah, you do.
So it's cool. I think the good part is that I'm a grounded person, so. I keep it real with folks, but it's different. Like I get a couple free meals every now and then,
I know that's right. They got to feed you.
Listen, do you say makeup?
Yeah, I ain't quite there yet.
Okay, well, you're getting there. You're getting there. So Grady, you are the chair of the largest African-American festival in North Carolina. Yeah. So share with the audience how the festival began and how it's been able to maintain popularity and success over the years.
Okay, well, boy, you did your homework, didn't you?
Yes,
listen, we gonna come to you correct.
I know that's right.
Yeah, we doing this right now. We're doing this right.
So. The African-American Cultural Festival is the largest African-American festival in the state of North Carolina. And it is that festival that became a destination event for many people, both Black and white. It had started back in 2007.
Okay.
And basically what happened was Raleigh had the CIAA basketball tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And CIAA was a big deal, but Charlotte outbidded us, and then and it was gone.
Yeah.
And then from there, the MEAC had decided they wanted to try Raleigh as well, and that didn't quite work the same as the CI did. And so they left within 1 year. So it kind of left an open hole for African American culture in Raleigh. And so we have some trailblazing quality leaders at this time that was like, man, let's figure out what we want to do. How do we serve our public and still provide some form of Afrocentric culture?
Okay.
And that's where the birth of the African American Cultural Festival came about in 07.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is it grew from, a day event to a weekend event. And we are front and center downtown. I became the chair 4 years ago. But I started just like everybody else. I remember me and my wife had went downtown to Fayetteville Street just to do something, just to get involved on Labor Day weekend. And we didn't even know the festival existed. Pulled up to the festival and I was like, what is this beautiful blackness I'm looking at? Like, who did this? And how did I not know about this?
Right.
So we got a little lawn chair, we sat and we listened to people's music. And I was like, yo, I said to Wanda, my wife, I said, Wanda, I don't know what this is, but I want to be a part of this. Like, I don't know what this is. And at that time, I mean, I wasn't even in, I think I just started with Parks and Rec or something like that. So I didn't know anything about nothing.
Right.
And so one of the things about me, I'm very dogmatic, and if I want something, I'm gonna get it. And so I found out who was in charge, and I was worrisome. I called. I said, "Listen, man, let me just be a volunteer. Like, what do I got to do?" And they let me in, and I was that one jump. I was the one running up and down Fayetteville Street getting ice. I did everything.
That's right.
From the very bottom. And opportunity presented itself, and I was vice chair, then I became the chair, and we've taken the opportunity and changed it. We've done a lot of different things. We've just received a grant for over $450,000.
Nice.
Because of the work that we have done as a whole. We have an extraordinary board that is very grassroots, very serious for the people, and we believe we don't leave culture on the table. And so. I have done a lot of things in my short 48 years, but being a part of the African American Culture Festival is probably one of the most humbling, exciting things. I mean, I have gotten on stage and I've seen thousands of people just cheering for the work that we've done as a group. So it's humbling.
Awesome. Now, is that coming up this weekend? Isn't it coming up soon?
So we're gonna pivot. So. The African American Culture Festival will always be Labor Day weekend, but we got this event called Afrochella. Now, Afrochella is like, can I be hood for a second? Like, this is the dopest, like, it is the most dopest thing that is coming to Raleigh. So we started, so Afrochella is a night where we're in African garb. And we have live music, we have DJs, but we twisted it.
Okay.
So one of the things that I am is a historian buff, right? I like Black people history and I collect Black comic books. I'm a nerd like that. So one of the things that I became a very student about was the Great Migration. And so for those of us who don't know, but we all got family members who were part of it, the Great Migrations when African Americans, 6 million African Americans left the South to the North during the 19 teens. all the way up to the 1970s to get away from Jim Crow South and find better opportunities. And then now we have the new migration where a lot of our African Americans came back to the South because of cost of living, and now, you know, we're here. And so what I've done is my research, I realized that one of the things that was important about the Great Migration was the train system, because a lot of African Americans left by train to move up north. Well, one of the cool things about that was that, you know, when people were leaving their loved ones, they would have a party in the train station, because they realized that there's a good chance that they'll never see their loved ones again. Oh. And so, because, you know, once you're gone, you're gone. You know, they weren't coming back. And so they would party in the train station. So what we've done is we've taken Afrochella, and we're going to be at the Raleigh Union Station. And so we're going to have a party at the Raleigh Union Station in African garb. And, you know, I'm going to tell y'all stories about the Great Migration while we're there. Right. But we're going to recreate the whole aspect that, listen, this is a part of our own Black greatness. We're going to be at the train station. We're going to have a great time. You're going to learn about the migration, and we're going to be in African garb and being beautiful. And it's that to do. It's that thing. So what we've decided to do with that is we're going to do it June 11th. Okay. And it's going to be the kickoff to all things Juneteenth. So, you know, Juneteenth, June 18th. Yeah. But we were like, you know what? We're going to kick it. We're going to start being Black 7 days out.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be dope. It's going to be dope.
Okay. And so, last but not least, if someone wants to connect with you regarding community events, how can you be contacted?
So the best way is always going to be by email. If you want to go find me, my email address is grady.bussey@raleighNC.gov. I love to hear from you. I mean, we here at Cherish, we have a lot of volunteer opportunities, and we have a lot of things that's happening, and I would love for our community to be a part of it. And it's exciting times. Raleigh is changing dramatically. We have a lot of people that are sincere about serving our community. Yes. We have some extraordinary people that are bringing cultural opportunities to the public. And I'm just glad to be a part of that. And those that are interested in serving the community, you know, I'm all for it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Grady. I really appreciate you taking time out to come on our show. And it has been a pleasure. And I'll be getting in contact with you so I can get the information about this Coachella.
You need to do that because look, like tickets are selling out, and I'm certain you will look good in your outfit, and you're gonna want to be there.
Okay. All right. That sounds like a plan, and I'm sure other people will too. So, y'all, you have anything else?
No, I am excited. I am actually interested in this Coachella, which is odd for me because I like to stay home.
Yes. No, you gonna want this red carpet stuff.
Like, but the way you're advertising it, I'm gonna have to be out in those streets.
Yeah. Yes, at the Union station. It's nice. Okay. We'll give it a try.
Yeah, so no, I don't have anything else. I am good. This was awesome. So thank you.
It was awesome.
Well, ladies, I'm very humbled that you thought I was worth your time. So
Grady, come on now. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. All right, you guys. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us for this week's episode. And we hope that you will continue to stick and stay with us. And until next week, you all take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.